Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, hey, folks, I'm Platter video series videos I've been doing for a while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about this stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that at the time I'm doing this, folks. I mean, who happens to be your favorite slasher villain from the, sort of 80s and 90s era, right? Maybe even back into the 70s. Of course, you had Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, Michael Myers. There was also Freddy Krueger. I'm just saying, folks. But anyway, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to eat some shit and talk about it. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm inside the truck today. But I'm wearing a cool shirt today, so I'm going to highlight the shirt because I always like to highlight the shirt when I have a cool shirt on. What cool shirt am I wearing? Boom! Psycho Kickboxer shirt. You can see it's a dude. He's kicking his head off. Folks, one thing about me doesn't come up enough. I love, old karate and kickboxing movies. I love martial arts in general. Both as a practice, although I don't personally practice because clearly. But I love martial arts cinema, and it's not even a guilty pleasure for me at this point. I love old karate and kickboxing movies, especially from the 80s and 90s era. Love it. That's when kickboxing was really at its peak, and basically anybody who had any type of a title somebody was going to give them a movie. Roger Corman or PM Entertainment or somebody was going to give them a movie. This one's actually special though, because this one, the titular psycho kickboxer is actually a dude named Curtis Bush, and this film, it wasn't a Roger Corman affair or PM Entertainment affair. In fact, I think mostly by that point, they'd mostly made their way out of the kickboxing movie stuff. This was a Curtis Bush thing, man. He wanted to make this happen. It's done on a super thin budget. I'm not going to say it's brilliant cinema, folks, but damn it all, it's extremely entertaining, and Curtis Bush is badass, so anyway. What am I trying for y'all today, folks? Well, I just got through doing a review of Boom. This is the frozen hot chocolate shake from Freddy's. Go ahead and give that a shot. And I figured while I was there, folks, I'd get something else. So I'm going to do Boom. It's another thing from Freddy's, specifically. Damn it all. Ha ha ha. Boom. It is the double jalapeno pepper jack Steakburger. That's what I'm going to go with on that. So yes, you can see it. It's a burger. So I've had Freddy's a few times. I actually did a review of one of their chicken sandwiches here on the channel. It's part of my Chicken Sandwich Wars playlist. Go watch those videos. I don't know that I've ever had a burger from them. I know I had a hot dog a couple times. I might have had a burger, but if I did, I don't remember it. And they are one of those places where they kind of, position themselves in competitions like Culver's, where it's they're like steak burgers, so Steak and Shake, Culver's, and in this place, I've never done anything from Steak and Shake on the channel. There's not a lot of Steak and Shakes left around where I'm at. I'll see if that other one's still there. Maybe I'll review something from there. But I saw this and I figured, what the fuck, man? It's a burger. I can eat it for lunch and I can get it in a quick review. Plus, I like jalapeno and stuff like that, so. And I mean, right off the bat, that's not a bad looking burger. Now, the thing with steak burgers, I've found, you pretty much have to get a double. Because steak burgers are always pressed really thin. They're not super impressive by themselves. But if you get a double, it's about equal to what I would consider proper for an actual burger. And looks like the bun is toasted, albeit I will say it's a little unimpressive, but it's a bun. It's just doing bun stuff. And sure enough, we got what looks like some pepper jack cheese, and we got a few jalapenos, and maybe some sauce, and that's about it. No onions, no pickles, no nothing like that. Let's give it a shot. See how it is. Ah. Okay, so kind of what I thought was going to end up being the case. It's good. It's a good burger. The beef tastes good. It has a nice, like, proper beef flavor to it, which I appreciate. I mean, all burgers should taste that way as long as they're beef burgers, obviously. But it does, and that is one of the advantages you get, when you've got, like, the steak burgers and stuff. You kind of do them thin. It's cooked well. I don't have any problem with that. However, doesn't taste as good as a Culver's burger. It just doesn't. Like, I have to compare them because, again, they're very much in the same market. Culver's, to their credit, they genuinely put, a decent amount of pride into their product. And I'm not saying Freddy's doesn't, but Culver's, they, at least from anything I've ever seen, they really stand by what they put out. I believe they're a family-owned company. They definitely make a show of it. And yeah, it costs a little bit more, but typically you're paying for the quality. And, with their butter burgers and stuff, and just overall, their menu is definitely more impressive than Freddy's. But doing a point-to-point comparison between them and Culver's, like I said, this is perfectly good, but whereas Culver's with one of their burgers, it feels like a Culver's burger. It feels like something that's specifically made at Culver's for Culver's. And by the way, I've done a review of a number of Culver's stuff over the years. It does feel like in-house. With this, it's good, but I wouldn't say that this tastes like, oh, this is like a Freddy's burger. It's just a solid enough steak burger. And it's, like I said, it's solid enough, but there's nothing special about it. Even with, like, the jalapeños were really weak, if I'm entirely honest with you. There's very little heat coming from this. And, I don't expect to be crazy hot or anything, but I do still, it's a jalapeno burger. I want it to have some oomph, some kick. There's very little kick, even with the pepper jack. And with the pepper jack, although, it's got a nice little hit to it, it too feels kind of weak. And I feel like with Culver's, even if I'm getting, like, something like their mushroom Swiss burger, it feels, again, like a Culver's mushroom and Swiss. Doesn't just taste generic or anything. With Freddy's, what it feels like with this burger and with stuff I've had mostly in the past, with the exception of this, is they have a good product. It's definitely elevated above most fast food, but it doesn't feel, like, personal. It doesn't feel special in any way that makes me go over there and say, okay, I need to go to Freddy's to go get this. And that's kind of how I feel about this. They're kind of a lesser Culver's. And, I hate to be that guy because I like to be positive about these reviews. But at the end of the day, for me personally, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Would I get it again? Maybe, but that would be if I were specifically going to Freddy's for something. And that's not typically the case because, for one, there's more Culver's around me, and two, Culver's is better for basically the same kind of price range, and I like their menu just a lot better. Freddy's, what they do is it's solid enough, and if it's there as an option for you, yeah, I think it's something worth, going at occasionally. But again, comparing it, well, and that kind of goes into the whole recommendation thing. Yes and no. It's not a bad product, but again, I feel like if you're going to do, like, sort of upscale fast food, it has to have a certain level of personality to it. And I don't feel that Freddy's does. Freddy's feels like they basically just took the Culver's concept and kind of, and maybe they didn't. Maybe they were first, I don't know. But it feels like they just kind of took that concept and kind of ripped it off a little bit, but then didn't put in the effort to really make it feel like a special place. And I'm sorry to say that, because I don't feel like it's a bad establishment or anything like that, but it's just, for me, if you really want to, if I'm going to make the trek, you have to offer me something that really feels, something unique and something special. And while, yeah, you guys did admittedly come out with a really good hot chocolate shake, I'll grant you that, your normal menu is it's just not impressive. You know, it's fine. It gets the job done, but I'm just going in for getting the job done, I can go to Burger King for that. You know, I can go to Wendy's for that. And I'd honestly say I probably prefer Wendy's to Freddy's, and they cost less. So, sorry, Freddy's. I don't hate you or anything. I just don't think you're all that you're cracked up to be. Although I say that, and it's not like I've heard a lot of hype about them or anything. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. You can go over there and have yourselves a truly proper burger-tastic rest of your life. And folks, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about like the real deal stuff. I'm talking about not even just Culver's, you know, I'm talking like proper, you know, like pub and grill type place, specialty burgers, you know, love yourself, get yourself a great burger. That's all I'm saying. Unless you're not into burgers or you're vegetarian or vegan or whatever. Get yourself a special salad. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But we do if you can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You try not to be an asshole. Now, that's not always the easiest thing in the world to do, folks. That's why I put try at the very beginning. It's very deliberate. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to fail. And I would imagine that probably everybody's going to fail sometimes. You know, just even when you try to be a good person, shit happens. Life can be stressful, very distressing at times. You might go over there, drop trowel, let your asshole out. But when we find ourselves in those situations, it's important that we take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there and you're going to go out to Freddy's after watching this review, as I have done here in this review. Maybe you're going to go over there and get one of their steak burgers. And you know what? Maybe you're going to be like, it's a decent enough steak burger. It's okay. It's okay. But then you're going to go over there and be like, you know what? I bet, damn it, I could do even better. So then you go over there. You master the art of the steak burger. Like, it's a whole thing. You're making burgers with the blindfold on. And, you know, maybe don't catch flies with chopsticks. I mean, that's impressive if you can do that. But you shouldn't have flies flying around where you're making food anyway. You know, but it's a whole thing. You learn a crane kick, but somehow it applies to burgers. And basically what I'm saying is you go on a Karate Kid-like quest to become the master of the steak burgers so that you can then go over there and make 3 movies where every single time you forget everything that Mr. Miyagi fucking taught you. That's why Hilary Swank only had 1 movie, because she remembered that shit and she didn't need to keep going back to Mr. Miyagi. Damn it, Daniel-san. But then, of course, you got Cobra Kai, which is pretty badass. Go watch Cobra Kai. In fact, that'll be my, or conversely, go watch Cobra Kai. Bye.